Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today in this video we're going to be looking at how you can achieve what it is that you're trying to manifest. So for some of you, this might be a relationship that you're trying to manifest into your life. Maybe this is a career goal that you've been striving towards. So what we're going to be looking at today is, first of all, what is this goal? What is this thing that you're trying to achieve or get into your life? And what should you be doing less of, and what should you be doing more of in order to achieve it? So what concrete actions can you do to get to your desired goal? What do you do less of? What do you do more of? And hopefully this will bring you clarity on the best way that you can achieve and bring this thing into your life that you want. So today I have 3 different readings for you to choose from. Pile 1, we have the happiness card. Pile 2 with the pain card. And pile 3 with the ghost card. So go ahead and pause, figure out which pile you feel most drawn to. I'll leave timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, pile 1. If you chose the happiness card, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to call you out a little bit today, because everything that you want to achieve, the only one holding you back from it is you. So, like I always say in my readings, I'm always going to give you the 100% honest truth of what I'm seeing in the cards. I'm not going to pull any punches, I'm not going to hold anything back. So if you're not in the correct mindset to be hearing some harsh truths, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm going to try to tell you it with compassion because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you achieve what it is that you want to achieve. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to give you a little bit of tough love. So if you feel like you're not in the headspace to listen to that right now, then maybe save this video for a future date when you feel more ready to listen to it. But I just want to warn you a bit, if you were hoping for a gentler message, that's not what's coming through right now. But if you're still sticking with me, let's go ahead and get into it. So on the left side here, we have what is it that you want to achieve or manifest into your life? What is this goal that you have? What is it that you want to create or allow into your life? And what I see here is you are somebody that's very dissatisfied with your life currently. I think that you're unhappy with the current job that you're in. You're a little dissatisfied with the friends that you have around you. I think that you're hoping for a romantic relationship, or if you're in one, you're just not very satisfied. And when I'm looking here at what is it that you want in your life, you have all these grand ideas of things that you wish that you had, while at the same time scorning what you currently have. And what I want to tell you is, in order to get to the life that you want to live, you have to let go of the life that you're living right now. But I think that you're afraid to, for instance, break up with the person that you're with right now that you're dissatisfied with, because you're afraid to be alone. Or you're afraid to leave behind the current job that you're at because you're afraid, what if there's nothing else out there for me? You're afraid to leave behind this friend group because what if nobody else wants to be friends with you? But you're keeping yourself here where you know that you're dissatisfied. You know concretely that you are unhappy with where you're at, but you're refusing to move on. And the only way to bring new things into your life that you want is to make space for them. But right now you don't have space for it. And basically what I want to tell you here is, the biggest thing that I'm seeing here is you hold yourself in this kind of victim mindset where you think that this is all that you can ever have, that you need somebody to come along and help you out with it. You don't believe in yourself to be able to go out there and achieve what it is that you want. You think that the opportunity needs to come to you, and since that you haven't had the opportunity, you're all, woe is me, I'm never going to achieve it. You have the ability to go out there and make the opportunity for you right now. You have the ability to go out to coffee shops and bookstores and bars and whatever and meet new people. You have the ability to get on a dating app and meet new people. But you point out your biggest insecurities and you say, this is what's holding me back. No, the thing that's holding you back is lack of action. And I think that that's the thing that you need to hear right now. Is because what I'm seeing here with what you need to be doing less of, we have the death card. And that makes me think, when I see the death card, it's like you think that it's already over for you. You think that there's no way that you can achieve what you want. You're stuck with what you have right now. Nothing's ever going to change. You think it's dead in the water. But the truth is, you can still have what you want. You can have the dream job. You don't need to stay somewhere you're dissatisfied. You can have friends that you truly love and care about and want to spend time with. You just need to move on from the people that aren't serving you. You can have the relationship that you want, but you gotta put yourself out there. Because in this life, no one is gonna do anything for you. You have to be the one that says, you know what, today I'm gonna try to put myself out there. And you know what? I'm making it sound like it's a lot easier said than done. I mean, I personally am somebody that has social anxiety, so I don't like going out there. I don't like having to force myself to go out and, be social, especially with random strangers. But I can. I just don't want to deal with the consequences of feeling uncomfortable, of having to actually leave the house and put energy into meeting other people. Not saying that, I don't have friends, whatever, I have friends. But you know what I'm trying to say is there's always a choice to make a difference. There's always a choice to take action. You just don't want to deal with the consequences. And so you've let yourself live in this mindset, this victim mindset of never being able to have what you want. And you look around at your life and you're dissatisfied, you're unhappy. And so instead you just daydream about what you could have instead of going out there and trying to take it. And I want you to not live in this mindset of thinking that it's impossible, because it's not impossible. You just don't want to deal with the consequences of what comes with actually putting action behind your desires. And I understand it. I completely understand how scary it is, how vulnerable it makes you. I mean, I see that, the reason why you don't want to leave behind this current group of friends or whatever situation you're in is because you're scared of the unknown. You're scared to be vulnerable. You're scared to be alone. You're scared of what if it doesn't work out and I've just thrown away this thing that was semi-okay that I could kind of deal with. But the truth is, if you stick with this for the rest of your life, you're going to continue to be dissatisfied. So would you rather be dissatisfied for the rest of your life, be unhappy for the rest of your life in your current situation? Or would you rather at least put yourself out there and say, you know what, at least I tried? And then just keep picking yourself up, keep trying, because isn't it worth it? This idealized life that you have in your head, because I know that you daydream about it. Wouldn't it be worth it to go out there and achieve it? Imagine if you could live that life. Imagine if you could have that loving, hot-ass partner on your arm. Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want those friends that you actually laugh with and genuinely enjoy and feel comfortable around? Wouldn't you want the dream job where your boss isn't a dick? Sorry for the profanity, but I feel like you're just very dissatisfied and you've kind of come to this conclusion that it's never going to change, but it can. And all that it takes is action from you. That's the truth of it. And I don't want it to sound like it's easier said than done, because it's very difficult, but it's not impossible. And I think that you've forced yourself into this mindset of it being impossible because it's better than holding yourself accountable and looking in the mirror and being like, I'm the reason that I'm stuck here. And with the final two cards, and I just want to say again, I'm sorry it's coming off so harsh. It's not me, it's the way that I've channeled these cards, it's the message that I'm getting here. Because I think the universe sees how you, for instance, I use this idea or this analogy all the time that when you manifest something, you're basically telling the universe what you want. Say you're trying to manifest a cake and you're like, I want a cake so bad, I want it more than anything. And so the universe puts flour and eggs and sugar on your doorstep and it says, okay, now make a cake. But if you don't put action behind your wants and desires, if you don't actually put in the work yourself, the eggs are going to spoil. The flour is going to start molding or whatever. So what you're seeing here is you're telling the universe all these things that you want, but since you're not putting any action behind it, you're not getting what you want. But if you do put action behind it, you can achieve what you desire. And I think the reason that you're getting this message in this kind of harsh language is because it's what you need to hear. You keep telling the universe what you desire, but you're not backing it up with any action, and so you're keeping yourself in this state of limbo where nothing is happening and you're just dissatisfied. And the universe doesn't like to see that. The universe wants to help you achieve what it is you desire. That's why you have these desires. That's why you've been given them. I don't believe that the universe gives us desires just to dangle them in front of us and have us never achieve them. I think that that's cruel. I think that there is always a way to get to it, but the only thing that makes you fail is when you quit or when you don't put action behind your words. And so, like I was about to say, these last two cards are what you should be doing more of. And the cards that we have here are Energy and the Knight of Cups reversed. And starting with the Knight of Cups reversed, I think that this is a message to you that no one is going to swoop in and do the hard work for you. No friend group is going to suddenly swoop in and pick you up off the street and be like, oh my gosh, do you want to join us? Join our friend group? No, you're gonna have to be the one that goes up to people, that goes to clubs, goes to volunteer organizations, that, goes to a pottery shop or whatever and mingles with people. And, maybe it's like taking classes, like taking cooking classes. What do you enjoy? What do you like doing as a hobby? Find ways to do that. Find ways to meet people through that. But nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody's going to force you to sign up for those classes. Nobody's going to come up to you on the street and sweep you off your feet. No hot person is going to suddenly come by and say, let's be in a relationship. It requires you to be in a conversation with that person, get to know them, actually commit to getting to know them, like going out on dates and stuff like that. Like if you want something, you can have it. But you have to put action behind it because no one is going to swoop in and do it for you. And that is a harsh truth that a lot of people have to learn. And it's a scary thing too because it puts all the blame on you. You can't blame it on something being impossible. You can't blame it on the universe being cruel. The only thing that you have to blame is yourself and your lack of action. And like I said, I'm sorry it comes off so harsh. That's why I keep giving these warnings. But I feel like this is what you needed to hear right now because the universe and your guides, etc., they don't want to see you go down this path of just living an unsatisfying life, just being depressed all the time and constantly wishing for something better, but not doing anything about it. And so finally, with the energy card, what you should be doing more of is find ways to allocate your energy towards achieving what it is you want. So for instance, if you want a friend group, let's just go with an easy analogy. How can you dedicate a little bit of your energy today to finding like-minded individuals? Start with, okay, what are your hobbies? Maybe you like going to the gym. Is it possible to find a group like on Facebook groups or whatever, Facebook communities of people that like to work out together? Maybe you're really into food. Maybe that you can create a Facebook group of people that want to try new restaurants in your area, and that's how you get to know people. Maybe there's people that like going to farmers markets. I mean, not too long ago, I was at a farmer's market and there was this group of these like middle-aged, like 40s, 50-year-old women who had all just met each other for the first time, and they were just like enjoying this farmer's market, and it's like that's what they did. They met up and they got to know each other. So what little thing can you do today to allocate a little bit of your energy towards what you want? If it's a career, maybe you start looking on LinkedIn, and maybe you start looking at places in your area that you'd like to work at. And then maybe when you're ready, when you have that job lined up, send in your 2 weeks, and then you'll be on your way. But if you keep letting yourself limit yourself, that's what's going to hold you back. That's what's going to keep you where you are right here, where you're dissatisfied and you can only think about the life that you want to live. What can you do right now to start living the life that you want to live? So pile one, that is everything that I have for you. I really hope that this didn't scare you. I hope, if anything, that this empowered you and brought you clarity on what it is that you want to achieve and how to get it, because I know that you can. I wouldn't be telling you all this if I thought it was impossible. I truly don't think anything is impossible. I think that all you need to do is put action behind your desires. And the second you start limiting yourself and saying like, oh, well, I have this disability, so I can't do it. Do you know how many people there are in the world that have disabilities that can still achieve things? I heard this story about this guy that was quadriplegic, which means fully paralyzed. He could only move like his head, barely. And he put like a pencil between his lips and like tapped at a screen all day, and that's how he like was able to get a job in coding. Like if there is a will, there is a way. And that doesn't mean that it's fair. It doesn't mean you're going to have equal opportunity as everybody else. But the second that you start to victimize yourself and tell yourself that you can't do something is the second that you failed. So what can you do today to start putting action behind your words and achieve what it is that you want? So pile one, thank you so much for watching. I hope this finds you when you need it the most, and I hope that this is the kick in the butt that you need to get on that journey of achieving what it is you want, because I want you to achieve what it is you want. Everybody, the entire universe wants you to achieve your desires. That's why you have them. So, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile two. If you chose the pain card, well, this is certainly the reading for you, because after looking over these cards here, I can already tell that you're going through a lot right now. I think specifically with family, I think that you have a very toxic home life. This doesn't necessarily need to be like the family you were raised with, though that is certainly coming to me right now. It could also be that you're in a toxic relationship right now. So obviously apply this to the section of your life that this makes most sense for, apply this to what resonates. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it, because starting off here on the left with what it is that you want out of this life, what is it that you're trying to achieve and manifest? And if you could hear the difference in my voice from pile 1 to this one, I feel a lot more somber. I feel the need to like quiet down. I feel like you don't speak your mind a lot. I don't know if you believe in chakras or if you have done any research on them, but you might want to look into your throat chakra being blocked, like what that means and how to get over it, because I feel like you're somebody that doesn't speak up a lot, and I'm actually like having the trouble finding the proper words, and I feel like I'm getting that energy from you. I get a very claustrophobic, a very frightened energy. I think that you're living in a very toxic environment filled with conflict, and what you want more than anything is to leave it behind. Because what I have here with the Five of Wands and the Ghost card, the Five of Wands is all about conflict, and I feel like it's constantly around you. It's constantly scaring you, it's constantly upsetting you. So this could mean like you're living in a toxic home environment. And with the Ghost card, I think what you want more than anything is to be rid of it all. I think that you want to just leave, just up and go. But I think there's a lot more nuance here. I think that there's some complications here, because I think as badly as you want to leave and as much as this conflict hurts you, I think that there are people in this household that you care about. An image that's really strongly coming to my mind, which will resonate with some of you but not all of you, is maybe your parents are constantly arguing. Maybe you have a parent that is very abusive. I don't like to throw around that word, but I am going to in this reading because that's the kind of energy I'm getting here. But I'm imagining that maybe you have like younger siblings or people that can't leave that environment and you're scared to leave them behind. You don't know what to do because you so badly want to be out of it, but you feel like you need to be there to help hold some of them together, which is a very tough spot to be in. I think the thing that you want more than anything is to just leave and just be at peace and be alone, because you're so tired of the conflict. But I think there's almost this feeling of like survivor's guilt, where if you leave and things are not fixed, then you worry about the people that were left behind there, or you worry that you could have done more. Maybe you could have solved these conflicts. And what I want you to hear right now, especially if these are parents or even no matter who it is, these conflicts arise because there is something deeply hurt within a person, and it's not your responsibility to fix it. It is their responsibility. And if they continue to push away everyone around them, if they continue to hurt everyone around them, it's something to do with them. And try all you want. Somebody that doesn't want to be fixed and somebody that doesn't want to change isn't going to change. But obviously it's a very nuanced issue that we have here. It's not that simple. And I think especially if there are, like I said, like younger siblings or family members that you really care about that you don't want to keep in that situation, but you can't provide for them, you can't get them out of there for some reason. I feel how heavy it weighs on you, the stress that it leaves on you, but also the guilt that you feel from wanting to just run away. So we're going to be looking a little bit here at what you can do to get out of this situation, and hopefully in the best way possible. So starting off with what you shouldn't be doing or what you should do less of. With the Space card and the Mystery card, I think as badly as you want to run away and just not say anything, that would be a bad thing to do. I think that you need to speak clearly and set boundaries and say, I mean, obviously it's very difficult to do so, especially when it's with people that don't think rationally, to like try to set up boundaries with them. They're simply not going to understand. It's like if you were dealing with a narcissistic parent, those things always end badly. But I think what you need to hear is simply getting up and running and not saying anything wouldn't be the best course of action, and I think even you know that. And again, I want to apologize if the words aren't coming out properly, because I have this energy and feeling of like claustrophobic, like can't speak super thoroughly, and I'm trying to push through it, but if I'm channeling your energy, I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's the feeling of being meek and small and like making yourself as small as possible so that the aggression isn't focused at you, not speaking up, not speaking your mind because you need to protect yourself. But I think you're nearing the time when it's time for you to leave this situation. And in order to do that, I think the best way that you could do it for yourself is, obviously, if it's a safety issue, like get up and run if you want, but from an emotional standpoint, like how it'll affect you and if you will have guilt from leaving, it's better if you can speak your mind and say why you're leaving, at least to the people that you care about. So like I was saying before, if there's like younger siblings involved, which doesn't apply to everybody, but if you have something like that, if you have somebody like that you're afraid to leave in this situation, telling them what it is that you want to do. And I just got this thought that came to mind is like, what if they snitch on you? What if they tell? That could be a major fear here for you. Like I said, this is a very nuanced and complicated situation. But I think that a part of you wants to stand up and set your boundaries and say that you personally need to get out of this situation and tell these people exactly why it is that you're leaving and that you want to support them, even if you aren't physically or financially able to. I can't put it into a lot of detail because I feel like it's going to be different for everyone. It is a general reading. But there's a strong desire here for you to speak your mind and be truthful to some of the people that are involved here. So that's what I'm going to leave it at. I'm not going to get too specific because it might only resonate for some of you and not all of you. But the biggest thing that I'm seeing here is when you do leave, because it's time for you to leave. You're nearing the time when you need to extricate yourself from this situation. Don't simply leave without saying anything, especially to the people that you care about who are also stuck in this bad situation. You need to at least tell them why, give them some closure, if not for them, for yourself, because I feel like you'll feel very guilty if you didn't say anything and you've left them behind, and it's going to eat away at you. Like, you need to be able to tell these people, for yourself at least, because then you're just going to come back and you're going to feel so guilty, and I think a bit of the guilt is always going to be there, especially if you got out of a bad situation but there's people left behind there. But if you can at least tell them before you leave that you are leaving, why you're leaving, and how you can possibly support them if they want to do the same, that will make you feel a lot better about this. And with the final two cards, it's breaking my heart here because you have, well, it's three cards rather. You have sadness and frustration clarified by the Seven of Cups. And it's a very bittersweet feeling because you can finally leave this situation behind. And I think your guides are trying to tell you, like, it's okay to let yourself feel the sadness, the frustration, the anger at everything that you've gone through. And especially let yourself feel it. Don't let yourself bottle it up. But at the same time, there's this message of now that you're free, you're allowed to daydream about what you want your life to look like. You're allowed to explore all the things that you weren't able to before. You're allowed to live whatever life that you want, but like I said, it's very bittersweet because it's like you're leaving behind this thing, there's all this guilt, there's all this unresolved pain still within you. You're going to finally get the space you need. You're going to get out of this situation, but when you do, there's a lot of emotional healing that needs to be done. But simultaneously, there's so much to look forward to. And it's like, I feel like you won't even let yourself be happy or want to look forward to these things because you're still so focused on the guilt and the pain. And so basically, Spirit wants you to know is it's okay that you feel both of these things. It's okay to feel guilty and horrible about leaving this place behind, but also feel so glad that you're out of it. And I think it's going to be very important for you to talk to people, maybe even, I would recommend like a therapist if you can afford it. I know not everybody can. But this is a lot of heavy emotion to work through, especially if you have like feeling feelings of like survivor's guilt, quote unquote survivor's guilt, because you got out of a situation that other people couldn't. And it's like you feel so glad about it, but at the same time there's this heavy layer of guilt and wanting to do more, but you can't, but also you're glad to be out and you want to look forward to the future, but you can't because you're sad and upset. It's okay to feel all of this. I know it's contradictory, but you need to leave space to feel these emotions, because when you try to bottle them up and push them down, they're just going to get pressurized even more. They're just going to come out even stronger, and they're going to be unresolved, and it's going to not allow you to move on. But the only person that can get you through it is yourself. And so lean on those that you can. If you have friends that you can lean on, if you can go to therapy or a counselor, if you go to school of some kind. I know most universities and high schools, I don't know exactly how old you are, but a lot of them provide counselors. Maybe it's possible if you work for like a really big company that they even have like designated like counseling. I don't know. It obviously, whatever resources that you have to help you through this, lean on them, because you're going to need all the help that you can get. But I want to at least leave you with the message that you are going to get out of this. Even though it's hard for you to feel 100% positive about that, I think on some level your body and your soul feel relief for it, but at the same time it's like, how can you be happy knowing that not everybody got out? But there's this message here, please don't beat yourself up for being the one that got out. You're doing the best that you can, and it's better that at least one person got out than none at all. You don't have to continue to suffer just because other people are suffering. If anything, let this freedom be the time that you need, that you can find ways to figure out how to support the people still stuck in this environment. And if you don't have that kind of thing, like I said, like younger siblings who are dealing with it, but you just feel this guilt because there's, like for instance, if it's your parents who are always at each other's necks, try not to feel guilty about not being able to solve their problems for them, because the only people that can solve their problems are themselves. Or if it was an abuser that you're leaving behind, the only person that can change them is them. And I know you have this feeling that you wish that you could do more, but the best thing that you can do right now is support yourself, heal yourself, and allow yourself to try to survive, because just because you physically left doesn't mean that you're out of it. There's still so many emotions to work through. There's still so much stuff to process, and you need the time and the space to do that. So pile 2, I know that was very heavy. I know I wasn't the most eloquent here, but I hope that the message I was trying to get across to you got across. I hope that it makes you feel comforted, even though I know that there's a lot of emotions that you're dealing with considering this situation. But you're not alone. You are not the first person who has ever gone through this before. And if you can find people like you to lean on, I encourage you to do so. Or if you can even just find people to lean on because they're there, like a counselor or a friend, like I said, I hope that you can, because I can just feel from channeling this message how much it's weighing on you, and this is like barely a fraction of what you're going through. So, pile 2, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3, last but certainly not least. If you chose the ghost card, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now, I apologize if I'm like slightly out of it. The last pile was very emotionally taxing and I just finished it, and pile 1 was also very strong. So, I'm going to try to give this one my all, but I'm still adjusting slightly. But what I'm seeing for you here today, what it is that you're trying to achieve or manifest into your life, I think that you're trying to move on from or extricate yourself from a codependent relationship of some kind. It could be that you've just gone through a breakup, or you're trying to go through a breakup. Maybe you've been in an on and off again relationship with somebody that just keeps hurting you and you want to leave, but you keep being suckered back and you feel like you're just very down because of this. You're very low vibe, you're very unhappy, and you don't want to be codependent. So what you're trying to achieve here I see space and the Four of Pentacles reversed. And space is self-explanatory. You're trying to learn to be independent again, trying not to be dependent on this person, not allow them to have control over you, especially if you keep getting hurt by this person. And with the Four of Pentacles reversed, I feel like this person has a very strong hold over you. And listen, I'm going to say something a little bit personal because I feel like you might be able to connect to it. For a long time, I really hope nobody that I know watches this in real life. For a long time, there was an ex that I had. This is so weird. I can't believe I'm going to say this. There was something weird going on energetically where we would be in each other's dreams. We would be thinking about each other when the other one was thinking about each other. There was definitely like vibes of manifestation going on. And I knew that I wanted to be rid of this person. I didn't want to think about them. I didn't want them controlling me. I didn't want them to have control over me the way that you don't want this person to have control over you, because it's over, it's done with. But a part of me was addicted to the idea that they wanted me. A part of me was addicted to the idea that they are thinking about me just as much as I was thinking about them. And that's what kept pulling me back. That's what made me not want to fully cut myself off. As badly as I was annoyed by it, I'm like, I don't want to think about this person anymore, there was still that desire to be desired. There was still the part of me that didn't want to let go, and because of that, I was still stuck in it. Because of that, I was still thinking about this person. Because of that, there was still this weird, energetic thing that was really, really annoying. And I think on some level, you're dealing with those same sorts of feelings. I think as badly as this person hurts you, it's not so easy to just disconnect, because on some level, they make you feel desired, they make you feel wanted, and therefore they make you feel like you are worth something. And I want you to know that you are very much worth something. You don't need to get your worth from this person, especially not from some person as worthless as them, because if it's somebody that just keeps hurting somebody knowing that they're hurting them, that's not the kind of person that you want to get your worth from. If anything, you should see like interacting with this person as making you lesser. You want to feel better, right? You want to feel like you're more worthy. You want to feel desired. So stay away from somebody that is undesirable. Maybe frame it from that perspective. I know it's not so easy to do. I know these things are more nuanced and complicated, but I hope that me sharing that kind of embarrassing story, you resonate with it and it can bring you clarity in some way. So moving on to what you should be doing less of. This is so funny. So you have the Hunger card here, and it's like, oh my god. Like, I don't know if this was a romantic relationship, but it's almost like, have you ever heard the term like, you're going to like horny jail? And it's like when you think of them, it's like bop you on the head. Like, no, don't think of them. Because what you should be doing less of is thirsting after this person. Don't look at their pictures. Don't think about them when you're getting busy, okay? I know that you're very attracted to this person. There's just something about their energy that you're very attracted to. But like, I need to bop you on the head, because no, girl, you don't need to be a girl. You know what I'm saying? You need to not focus on this person, because I think that a part of your body, rather, still very much desires this person, and if you let yourself indulge in that, you're not going to be able to pull yourself away from this. So the first thing that you need to do is like, and the way that the Hunger card is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles is so funny to me, because the Queen of Pentacles is very modest. She's like wearing all these clothes and stuff, and Pentacles is like all about stability and stuff. So it's the complete opposite. It's like, go be a nun for a little while. Like, don't think about this person. I know it's very hard to abstain from somebody, especially if they present themselves to you and are like open and stuff. It's hard not to run back if they like hit you up and they're like, what you doing? No. Be stronger than that. Be stronger. Don't give in, because you know how it's gonna end. It's gonna end with them like ghosting you for a while, or not giving you the attention that you want, or moving on to someone else, and then you're gonna be hurt again, and you're gonna be like, why am I stuck here? Then you're gonna be mad at yourself, then you're gonna be hurt and upset. Think about the big picture. Instead of falling prey to these whims and these feelings that you have, think about the big picture of where is this gonna go? Is this somebody that is really worth me going through all this? No, it's not. And focus on yourself. If there is some part of you that this person is fulfilling, find ways to fulfill it in other ways. Find ways to fill your own cup. Yeah, and you know what? Maybe you just need to how do I say this properly? Maybe you need some self extracurriculars to fulfill what they would otherwise fulfill for you. You know, maybe do yourself, basically. Don't let them be your only outlet, okay? Because then it's just gonna make you like fall prey to them even more. It's gonna make you want to come back to them even more. No, find ways to fill your own cup, let's say, okay? Sorry, I'm not usually like this modest about these things. I talk very openly, but since it's the internet, it's like different, I guess. But you know what I'm saying. Like, find ways to fulfill yourself so that you don't need to go to them to fulfill you. Find ways, and you know what, maybe it's not even in a sexual sense, maybe it's in a confidence sense. Maybe it looks like you getting dressed up all nice and like doing your makeup or your hair or like working out and then going out to like a club or something and having people hit on you, and then you're like, you know, I don't even care about that other person, like why would I even give them any attention when I can get all these other people all over me. You know what I'm saying? So find other outlets to give you what this person gives you so that you can stay away from them and not be so dependent on them for fulfillment. And finally, what you should be doing more of, we have the Comfort card and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. What you should be doing more of is not beating yourself up, because I feel like you get really down and you blame yourself. And the truth is, like, I feel like you're the kind of person to be mad at yourself, like, why are you so weak? Why do you keep giving into this? Instead of yelling at yourself, try to be comforting and say, I understand that it's just a part of me that feels unwanted and it just wants to feel wanted. There's a part of me that feels ugly that just wants to feel beautiful. And come at yourself with comfort instead of hate, because the thing that you want is to be desired, is to be wanted, is to be loved. That's all that you want. That's what you're trying to fulfill here. And so if you can make yourself feel loved by yourself instead of feeling hated by yourself, you'd be surprised at how much more it'll pick you up and how much less you might be needing this from other people. Let yourself be the source of your own love, not other people. And also with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, I feel like you have a tendency to try to throw yourself into distractions, instead of like focusing on your own internal issues. Like I said, like this desire to be wanted, the desire to be loved, the desire to feel beautiful. That can all come from within, and it's something that can be repaired without having to go to this person for fulfillment. And I think that that's something that you just need to explore with love and comfort for yourself. Imagine that you were your friend, or you were a child that was coming to you and telling you everything that they've been through. Would you tell them, like, suck it up, get over it? Would you tell them, like, what's wrong with you? Why do you keep going to them? Would you, like, beat them and hurt them? No, you would say, I'm sorry that you keep feeling the need to go there. I'm sorry that you couldn't get love elsewhere, that you feel the need to go to somebody that doesn't love you. Let me be the one to love you. Just like you would love a friend, like you would care for a friend. Love and care for yourself, because I feel like that's what you've been needing. Like, imagine the young child, the inner child inside of you that has just been longing for love and acceptance and desire. And they're just been beat up and used, and like, no wonder they feel the desire to do all this. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't be mad at yourself for just trying to fulfill needs that you have. There's nothing wrong with trying to fulfill these needs. The way that you've been going about it isn't right, per se, but it's just trying to get needs met, you know? And it's something that you need. So if you can get it from yourself, if you can get it from other outlets that you don't feel so reliant on or dependent on, that make you feel like shit afterwards, then try to explore those. And more than anything, allow yourself the space, the love, and the comfort to get over this, because it's like a drug. It's like going back to a drug that you know is going to hurt you, that you know the come down is going to be horrible off of, but it's an addiction. It's something that makes you feel better. And so you keep going to it because deep inside you, you don't feel good. Find ways to make yourself feel better that don't rely on this drug, that don't rely on this person. So, pile 3, I hope this finds you when you need it the most. I hope this brought you some clarity and that you can get over this thing that you're going through right now. I know that you can. I know it's hard, but trust me, you are not alone. There are many people that have also gone through this before. So, pile 3, that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.